Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. I just received a package from Baker Publishing that includes 4 different versions or covers of the Bible Recap Bible, 365-day Chronological Study Bible in the English Standard Version. So this is the ESV. I've not looked at these yet, not even looked at this one. So we'll see what we have here. I always like to do an unboxing with more of a discovery style of video where I'm just discovering what we have, and then the written review will be the full review at BibleBuyingGuide.com. That'll come in a few weeks because I always spend more time with these Bibles before actually reviewing them. But this video will show you my first impressions, my initial thoughts. So let's take a quick look at the features. We have the ESV 365-day scripture readings, 2-color line-matched page design in a single column format, lay flat Smythsonian binding, double-sided satin ribbon marker, Words of Christ in red, and 10-point font. Now, I think they're all the same internally, but I don't know that for sure. We'll see as we go. And here's what they sent. And these are available September 2nd. So we have hardcover, brown imitation leather, pink imitation leather over board. That's interesting. And then black genuine leather, which is actually cowhide leather. Cowhide is one of my favorite leathers. I consider it to be underrated. Actually, I consider hardcovers to be underrated. I like a good hardcover, especially if it's made well. So the cowhide is exclusively sold at thebiblerecap.com. I'll place links to all these in the notes. But let's see what we've got here. Let's see. Talks about the author, a little bit about the Bible Recap books. There's some books for kids. All right, so let's just go ahead and dig in here and see what we've got. I'll start with the first one, which is the hardcover edition. And there's what it looks like without the sleeve. And here is the page design. One thing I like about a hardcover is when they stay open, that spine rises, and that makes the page flatter. And my first impressions of this page is that is gorgeous. So we have probably around 14 words per line. 12, 14 words per line, which is perfect for poetry. Let's see how they're broken up, though. This is beautiful. Let's go ahead and just thumb through really fast here. There's the red. That's a pretty red. So, yeah, that looks really good. We'll see what this recap part is about as we go. All right. That was just a quick glance. Let's see what we've got here, though. The paper, I think, is... I'm going to say low 30s, but I don't know. Probably 30. That's just a guess, though. They haven't told me that. Let's see. We have printed in China. Let's see who did typesetting and all that, if it's on here. Sometimes it shows us, and sometimes it does not. Okay. So we are using, let's see, the 2025 ESV. So this is the 2025 text of the ESV. This is my second 2025 ESV. I actually haven't reviewed my first one yet. I've had it for a few months, and I am what I call lazy. So here's our content. So this gives us our daily readings. So day 1 is Genesis 1 through 3. And then it has the recaps and chronological reading plan. So the reading plan is here in the front. I guess that's a page number. And then, so it does look like it goes Genesis and then goes to Job. And then back to Genesis. Because it is chronological. So they're giving us as much chronologically as possible. It's not, I won't say it's 100% complete, though, because we don't have John 1:1 in here. But they're taking it in larger chunks, I think. That's an issue that you're going to have with chronology, is how far do you dig in, and there's some things we don't necessarily know exactly where and when things took place. So that looks interesting. So all of the daily reading is here in the front so that we can get a quick glance as to what we're reading. I like that. It gives us a good index. A letter from Tara Lee Cobble. And then how to use the book. I like this paper. It feels like decent paper. It's probably about the same as what I see in other study Bibles, which is typically good paper, actually. So, explanation of the features, textual footnotes, types of textual footnotes. So this is going to be the ESV footnotes. And then the recaps and chronological reading plan. So there's day 1. So we see day 1 up here in the corner. And then this is that day's reading with footnotes. And it's pretty on the page. It's a good font. I'm not sure what the font is, but it is a good looking font. Does have a little bit of space in here. Some white space in the text. It looks really good. It looks readable. Good wide margins. It's a lot of wide margin space there. Let's see what that is. That's close to 2 inches. 1 inch and 3/4. So yeah, that's pretty decent margin space. So here's poetry, and poetry is why I say single column with 12 to 14 words looks really good with poetry, because you have all the space you need to make that fit really well. Like, you don't have to wrap this to the next line. That looks good. There are times when you do, but that looks really good. Okay, I skipped a page. Let's see what we got. Let's go back. Just continues our plan. See, there's more poetry in single column. That's just pretty. Then recap. All right, so what is our recap? Okay, I am going to pause this, and I'm going to read that and see what this is telling me. Okay, this recap works a lot like commentary. It does have some facts. It does have some theology. It does have some just good, solid information, like why we see God in all caps and what these different words mean and things like that. But overall, it feels a lot like standard study Bible commentary. And then after that, we have something called Today's God Shot, and that's kind of a devotional, the way it reads to me. It feels like a devotional. And then we just go straight into the next day's reading. And there's a cat over here trying to be annoying, so I'm going to zoom in so she's not taking up so much of the screen. I'm in her place, so I'm the one being annoying to her. That's the way she's seeing this. So here we have just our daily readings. It looks like there's really nothing getting in the way. There's the ribbon. That satin ribbon looks really good. I like that blue. The blue matches the cover. That looks good. I like that. See, I like the way this hardcover just stays open. That is pretty. And there's some proverbs, so some poetry. That looks nice. That's beautiful on the page. It feels well made. A lot of space in the inner margin also. And that helps bring the text out onto the flat part of the page. If text goes down into that gutter and wraps, it bends, then my eye loses where the next line starts. But this doesn't have that problem. That looks really good. So the text is brought out onto the flat part. Yeah, so it stays flat. It's really nice. So at the top of the page, it shows us our page number, but then also shows what day we're reading. I kind of would like to have that show me the date rather than what day I'm on, because I don't know what the date is for day number 236. However, if I don't start Genesis 1:1, it doesn't matter. And this lets me start any time I want to. So there's advantages either way. So I guess I can just decide that myself, what day I'm starting on. There's the red again. There's that line matching. It looks pretty nice. Pretty good. One thing I've noticed too is the text is not overly dark, but it does seem to be consistent. It does look to be highly readable. There's a lot of white space in there too. So it does look good. And the paper seems to be very opaque. I mean, I can see a little bit on the other side, but that's not enough to be distracting, and it probably looks bolder or stronger through the camera than it does in real life. So it looks good. So the reading also gives us our, tells us what we're reading that day, and then that's marked at the top of each one. So there's Luke 11. Let's see what that's going to look like if we read multiple in one day. What does that show us? It shows us the range of chapters we're reading. So that looks good. Let's see what else we got here. Then we'll look at each of the covers. So I feel like that's some good space for notes. So if you wanted to write in this, you really could. Let's see, Scripture Index. So there's about the author. She's the one who put the notes together and all that. Information about Terry Lee Cobble. And there's Bible Recap and .com and all of her information. That's good. Scripture Index, Canon Order. Okay, so this shows me if I wanted to read the Bible straight through, what page I have to go to. So if I'm reading Genesis and then I get to 11 and then I want to go to 12, I go from page 14, then the next one is page 80. So that's helpful in case I wanted to read in canonical order. So you're not stuck with just chronological order in this. You can also read in canonical order. So that's good. And then that also helps you find where something is. So if I want to find, for example, John 1:1, then I know to turn to page 1558. So that's helpful. That's very helpful. I like that. Makes it easier to use it. It makes it a lot more valuable. And that is it. Let's see, the Bible Recap Notes. So here's where just a few, there's only 4, but here's where some other references, material is used. And then that is it. So that's the hardcover. I like the size of that. It's standard study Bible size. I like the feel of it. It's about 6 3/4 by 9 1/2 by 1 3/4. So let's go ahead and look at the others, starting with the start. So this one is the brown. Let's see if it tells us here. These are from Bethany House. Let me see. Where did I put it? Already lost it. So the brown imitation leather and then pink imitation leather overboard. So brown imitation leather comes in a slip case. That's a good solid thick slip case too. I like that. There's the imitation leather. I'll be honest. That's not my favorite imitation leather that I've seen. It doesn't really feel like a good quality imitation leather. I don't know that it's not. But when I look at some of the other publications, like say from Thomas Nelson, some of those look like some of those are hard to tell apart from real leather. This one, this feels like imitation leather. There's the ribbon for this one. It's a dark blue, I think. Yeah, that's a dark blue. But let's get on that brown. Now this one has gold page edges. Yeah, I don't think I like that imitation leather that much. This wouldn't be my first choice. I'll say it that way. Would not be my first choice. I don't dislike it, but it wouldn't be my first choice. Just my first impressions there. But it stays open well. Stays open really well. Presentation page in the front, and that's on that thin paper. This has got something else in it here. What has it got? Okay, that's just a dark page. It does stay open well. Yeah, that has no problem staying open. So yeah, that'd be an easy one to use. Let's see how it fits back into the box. Trying to do this and keep it in camera, and that's a problem. Okay, I think I'm going to like this pink overboard a little better. And yeah, I already do. I already like this better. That feels better to the hand. It actually might feel similar, but at the same time, on the hard cover overboard, it feels a little bit more elegant. it looks a little bit more elegant too. It's got some color variation in there, and that gold looks really good. Has the sharp edges like the hardcover does. That stays open. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, I have no problem with that. Yeah, so if I'm going to get one of the imitation leather, I like this one. That pink. And of course, I probably wouldn't choose pink for myself, but I like this one a lot. I like brown if I could have my color choice. There's that ribbon that looks really nice. It's a little pale pink that looks good with it. Yeah, that looks nice. I like that. I like this one. I recommend this one. And then the other is the black genuine cowhide leather. They call it genuine leather, but it actually is cowhide. One of my favorite leathers is cowhide. And that's got all the information on it too. This one is a one-piece box. Oh yeah, that looks good. Oh yeah, that's got 3 ribbons. That looks more elegant right off the bat. Feels pebbly, looks pebbly. Has that kind of a football feel, which I like. It's a thin leather. Thin, flexible. I don't know what the liner is, but it looks like real leather. Edge lined. Let's get these boxes out of the way here and see how this edge line tab works. A lot of times edge line tabs are thick or stiff. That's what I mean to say. So we have a edge decorative line on the inside. Oh, that's not stiff at all. Kind of wants to push a little bit. Oh yeah, that's no problem. They'll stay open easy. Yeah, I have no problem with that. Yeah, from day one, that stays open. No problem at all. There's day one right there. Yeah, that's no problem at all. Let's go back to page 1 if I can. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that stays open, no trouble. No problem. So let's look at these ribbons. And I notice none of these are stuck. These pages are not stuck together, so I'm not going to have to spend the next month undoing pages, which after you've done this for 14 years, that gets a little bit tiresome on your hands. There's the black leather, black ribbon. I don't know what I'm calling that there. Black ribbon. There's a, don't know what that color is. We're going to call that copper, but it's not. It's a lighter color than copper, but for today, that's copper. Lucinda will correct me. Yeah, I like the feel of this. And then, oh, is that white? I like white. Yeah, that's a white. I like that. So let's look how flexible that is. That's very flexible. Now when I'm bending like that, I'm not cracking the spine. I'm just bending the covers, front and back. Yeah, that looks good. It stays open well. This one feels good. Thick end sheet. Only a couple. That's a thinner end sheet, but it does have another end sheet there. But yeah, that looks good. I like the feel of that one. Now it's a thin leather. It doesn't feel like a high end premium, but at the same time, it's a nice one. I like it. I'm not going to say it's not premium. I don't mean it that way. But when you're comparing something like a Scholar or something like that, but at the same time, those Bibles are more expensive. But that looks good. So that's my first look and my quick look at the Bible Recap. The Bible Recap Bible. 365-day Chronological Study Bible in the ESV. In hardcover, imitation leather, imitation overboard, and cowhide. They look good. They look really good. Yeah, I think this would be a great reader. And it'd be good if you're wanting to take some notes. I don't have my scale back here, so I will weigh this in the review. But it's, standard study Bible size and shape and all that and weight. I will say that the line matching doesn't look perfect. So there's some places here where the line matching doesn't quite match up. And it is text on the other side, so it's not having to match up with something that doesn't Like, that's going to be difficult to line up with. But I won't say it's perfect, but at the same time, that does not stand out to me when I'm reading that. I only mention it because I noticed it. And I only noticed it because I was looking for it. Anyway, I'll place links in the notes where you can make a purchase if you're interested, and I will get to work on the full written review to be posted at BibleBuyingGuide.com. If you have any questions, you'll probably find the answer there. And my thanks to Bethany House for sending these from Baker Publishing. Bethany House for sending these in exchange for an honest review. Thanks for watching.